Okay, hi, it's time to talk about Romeo and Juliet Act 2. That's what you were supposed to read this week. Luckily, Act 2 not too long. Um, Act 2, Scene 1, the chorus comes out again. The narrator guy comes out again at the beginning, and he tells us that Romeo's love for Rosaline has just dried up. After he sees Juliet, that's it. He's forgotten about Rosaline forever. And now he's in love with Juliet instead. After the party, Benvolio and Mercutio, his friends, are walking around the garden in the backyard looking for him, yelling his name, Romeo, Romeo. But he's purposely hiding from them, like he ditches them and doesn't answer them so that they'll go away so he can go look at Juliet some more. That's scene 1. In scene 2, he goes in the back and he can see her on the balcony of her bedroom. This is where she gives the most famous speech, the "Oh, Romeo, Romeo" speech. And he listens, and she says, "Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? You know, why do you have to be a Romeo Montague guy? Like, why can't we be on the same side?" Like, she's totally in love. Well, he hears this, and he pops out when she's done. And he says, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you love me, I love you too." And she's horrified that he was listening that whole time that she was talking out loud. You know, nobody, especially the girl, wants to be the one that says, "I love you" first. And so he heard her, and so now, you know, she can't believe that she told her feelings first. But luckily he jumps out and he says, "Oh, I love you too, you know, don't worry." Well, she tells him, "You've got to get out of my backyard. It's not safe for you here, you know, because you're a Montague." And he says, "I don't care. I'd rather die than not be here with you." And it's not the first time, it's not the last time that they talk about how they'd rather die than not be together. So, there you have it. She says, "Well, if you're serious, like if you really love me and you really want to get married, then I'll send someone to you." She's going to send the nurse, of course. "I'll send someone to you tomorrow, and then you can like figure out how we're going to get married," because they can't, you know, do anything until they're married. In scene 3, he tells the friar the next day what a great night he had, and the friar is horrified. He's like, "Oh my God, were you with Rosaline last night?" If you know what I mean. And he says, "No, now I don't love Rosaline. I love Julia Capulet." And at first the friar is mad. He's like, "You went to the Capulets?" And he says, "Now you love Julia?" Because Romeo sure changed his mind quickly. But then the friar says, maybe if there's love between Romeo and Juliet, maybe that'll stop the fighting between the two families and everyone in town, you know, can be happy. Like the feuding will be over. So he starts to think about it. While that's happening, in scene 4, Benvolio and Mercutio are talking about how Tybalt, that's Juliet's cousin, has sent a challenge letter over to Romeo's. He's still mad that they crashed the party, you know, that they came into the house uninvited. And they're walking down the street, Benvolio and Mercutio, his friends, and they're talking about it. And they're like, "Oh no, Tybalt, he's a really good sword fighter. Like, this is a serious challenge." Well, Romeo bumps into them in the street, and they're like, "Oh, there he is. Where were you last night? And he's like, "Oh, sorry." And while they're walking, and while he's talking to his friends, the nurse comes and meets him on the street. And he tells the nurse, "Listen, get Juliet to come to Friar Lawrence's cell, and there we can get married." Okay, so also he says he has a servant that's going to drop by a rope ladder, and it's a ladder he can use to climb up later in the evening and go onto her balcony and into her bedroom. So the nurse says, "Okay." And then in scene 5, Juliet is waiting for the nurse to come back. It's making her crazy. She can't believe how slow the nurse is moving, you know, because she's really excited. Well, the nurse finally returns and tells her the plan. Again, the plan is go to Friar Lawrence's cell, where They will get married, and then later he's going to sneak up in the rope ladder up to her balcony and then into her bedroom, and then they can be together because now they're married. Okay, that's the plan. In scene 6, the friar is talking to them about how they need to calm down. You know, they're all very excited about seeing each other again and being in the same room together. And he's like, calm down, calm down. We have to get married, but it won't take long. We can do it pretty quick. Okay? And, you know, he doesn't want them spending the night together until they're married. And so that's what happens. Okay? And later on, honeymoon, he'll climb up the ladder and go to her bedroom. Okay? That is Act 2. Don't forget to do your Act 2 assignments and either put them on Schoology or email them to me, and I will put them in your grade. Okay, bye.